Hey there, Cornell Jermaine here, friend to the brand and voice of the consumer. I thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel once again. Listen, today we're going to talk about 4 frameworks that will help you take your business from rookie to rockstar status. Listen, you don't want to miss it. Tune in. Let's get started. Hey there. So listen, when we talk about customer service, we're talking about obviously a business, a freelancer, or service provider being able to serve their customers and serve them well. Well, last week we talked about some statistics that came out in our 2024 service report that showed us some of the dynamics as it pertains to customer service in this particular day and age. And we're going to break those down into these 4 frameworks. So before we get actually into the 4 frameworks of better customer service, let's talk about what a framework is. A framework, by definition, is a basic structure underlying a system, concept, or text. So this concept is how to better serve your customers. So this is particularly, if we wanted to simplify our objective here today, it's to provide you a system for better serving your customers. As we get into the 4 frameworks, we're going to talk about some things that you can actually implement today to take your business from rookie to rock star status. Now, let me help you understand something, that just because you've been in business for many years doesn't mean that you're not operating as a rookie. So I don't want you to think of rookie status as somebody who's just beginning per se. Rookie status is just being at a place where you have not fully developed in an area. And many of us in business have not fully developed or bloomed into this better customer service or embraced a system that allows us to serve our customers like rock stars. So there are many people who need to hear this. So I don't want you to get turned off if you've been in business and you feel like you've got it under control. Listen, stay tuned. There may be something that you can take away to help you in your business. So the first framework in our 4 frameworks is reactive service. I like to call it responsive service, and it is specifically addressing customers' issues as they arise. This is very important in any space of customer service, whether you're selling a service, a good, a product, a software as product, a software as a service, whatever the nature of the thing that you're producing or offering to your customers or prospects, no matter what it is, being responsive or reactive is very important. And if we look at last week's episode where we talked about a specific statistic as it pertains to what customers expect in this day and age, as it pertains to your response time, it's mind-blowing. Listen, here, take a listen to that clip right now. Customers expect problem resolution in 3 hours or less. Yes, that's right. Customers nowadays are expecting to hear a response, no matter what the channel or the medium that you use. They're expecting a response to their issues from you, the business owner, the customer service provider, within 3 hours. That's mind-blowing for some people because they don't have the capacity to serve the customers that are in front of them better, worse off the ones who are calling and emailing and all the things, right? So the demand we see here from customers is growing, right? But there are things that you can implement to help you in that. And listen, if you want to know, check out last week's episode. It'll be linked right here in the description of this particular episode. But what we understand from this particular need or demand, and this is according to the 2024 State of Service Trends Report, and that is 82% of customers expect immediate problem resolution from customer service agents. So your response time is necessary. How soon do you get back to your customers? Some people, they let their customers know right out the gate. Give us 24 hours to get back to you. Give us 48 hours to get back to you. And let me help you understand, this is not just in business as it pertains to self-employment or you serving a customer in goods. It's even in our corporate structures, even in our governmental or municipalities, right? I know people that work for the government in various services. Their clients or people that they serve, their cases, depending on their department, those people sometimes are so demanding. And I hear them, they tell me, they say, I have to tell them, give me 24 to 48 hours to respond. Because they are one person handling multiple cases. And if everybody from all the cases that they're handling wants a response immediately, they're going to be completely drained and they won't have any time to do anything but talk to people about their issues. So there are things that you can implement, but this is pretty much, I'm stating this to help you see that as a society, we are becoming more and more demanding as it pertains to how fast fast we want things done for us, right? And it's showing up in our marketplace. So this is your reactive service, your responsive service. And let me help you understand. I have experienced specifically, and I won't name the brand, but if I did, you would know exactly what I'm talking about, where this response time was totally unacceptable, right? I had an experience recently where there was an issue with a charge that was the fault of the personnel who cashed or checked me out at the point of transaction, right? At the point of sale. They overcharged me. Do you know it took me close to 2 weeks to get a resolve? 2 weeks for a mistake that was theirs. Now, this had nothing to do with the product. This is not like, oh, you went and bought a product and it didn't work and now you're trying to return it, or you went and bought a product and it's malfunctioning or not serving you the way you thought it. This is, no, I got the product was good, everything was great, all of the things worked and everything was fine, but I was overcharged and it was the fault of the customer service agent. It took me 2 weeks to get a resolve. It took me 5 days to even get somebody who would respond to say, hey, we're working on it. This is what we're doing. Unbelievable, unacceptable. And if I told you this particular brand, you would know they're a household name that is known in all of North America. Now, I got customer service, right? I was able to call the customer service agent, but the agent said, you have to send an email. So it's not that the personnel weren't there, it's they weren't capable. They didn't have the capacity. And that's even a bigger problem. So now you're not just dealing with the response time, you're now creating an issue of frustration where you have people in place, but they are not able to help you. And it's like, oh my God, I just waited on hold to talk to you. And you're telling me that I have to send an email? And then I send an email and I don't get a response for 5 days. But they let you know this, right? To their defense, they tell you when you send the email, you get an automatic response and it tells you give us 5 to 7 days to respond. And if you're in a situation like me, where the problem stems from your personnel, then that's a huge problem. I'm still talking about this reactive or responsive service, right? The ability to respond. How fast do you respond? 24 hours, 48 hours? We can work with that. That's an appropriate response time. 5 to 7 days for a charge that you did accidentally? Not acceptable. One day I'll tell this story in full because it is quite extensive and mind-blowing. And if I name the brand, I guarantee you'll be like, oh my God, are you serious? How are they operating like that in customer service? It'll blow your mind. Or maybe not. I don't know, because some of you may have experienced this as well. But it's not acceptable to have customers waiting days and days and days and days for a response to an issue. This is how you diminish the quality of your brand and ultimately destroy brand loyalty. The next framework in our 4 frameworks is proactive service. Now, this is a little bit different from the reactive or responsive service that we just spoke about. And honestly, I feel that more of us in business must focus on this proactive service. Proactive service is anticipating and preventing possible potential problems that your customers may have. This is anticipating and preventing them. You're proactive. You don't wait till the problem arises. You position a solution so that when it arises, because you can forecast these things based on your research, based on your involvement, based on customers' responses, based on all the things, right? So with the issue that I had in this response time of this company not responding to me in 5 to 7 days, I'm so sure that I'm not the only one who had an issue with that. But if they took a survey of myself and some of the others who had issues with different things, and those complaints that came in like, oh my God, I can't believe I had to wait 5 days to hear back from you guys. I can't believe I had to wait a week to get a response. All of this feedback from their customers would now position them to a place where they can now put in place a system of proactive service so that they can say, okay, how can we not only address the specific issue that they're having in a proactive manner, meaning find a solution to make this better, and how can we also position a system that will allow us to respond in a more acceptable or appropriate time frame. That's being proactive. That's you taking the initiative to anticipate the problems of your customers. And many of us in business don't want to do that. Why? Because we feel like we don't create problems in our business. We feel like, oh, I do good work. I do this, I do that. I'm wonderful. So-and-so loves it. This one loves it. I've been in business for 30 years. Listen, I don't care how long you've been in business, and this is for myself. I understand this. I don't care how long you've been in business, how many clients sing your praises, how many customers rave about what you do, your products, services, or goods. Listen, there is an issue that is within your operations, maybe within the product or service itself. Whatever the case, there is some issue that you have that you can proactively correct, so that the next client or the next customer does not experience that issue. Or when they do experience that issue, you have a ready-made solution that is already prepared for them. Proactive. And if I had to tell you to focus on any of these when it comes to the response or the reactiveness of your service, proactive ones would be. So that would mean that you're looking, you're lurking, you're spying into the experience of your customers in an effort to find what it is that you can correct. You're becoming almost like Inspector Gadget to find an issue. Oh, what can I see? What can I find that we can help correct in order to better serve our customers, right? You're being proactive. You're being proactive. The next framework that I would say is, and this is the most important framework when it comes to building brand loyalty in our marketplace today, and that is building long-term customer relationships. Your relationship-based service. Relationship-based service is very vital in our marketplace today, and it has a lot to do with our culture. It has a lot to do with society, right? So people are looking for connections with brands and products that they're serving. They're not just looking for the solution that they need from your service or product. They're looking for the connection as well. So your ability to build relationship with these customers and building it in a consistent manner is very vital to the long-term success of your business, to the lifetime value of your customer. It's very, very vital. And I'm telling you, as we move into a more digital age where now things are becoming more robotic, more mechanical, more digital, all of the things, listen, there's gonna be an even more uprise for people longing for this connection, right? And if your brand can build it, if your brand can come out the gate with this relational culture, this relational piece where you not only serve customers in an effort to make money or to do business, but you serve them in an effort to become a part of their lifestyle, you're focused then on the relational side of things. And that's very, very, very important. I told somebody the other day, I'll preach this because I know it to be true, but remember the days, definitely the 1950s, 1960s, but even into the 70s and the 80s, right? 90s, where you had these mom pop like shops. I remember growing up and we spent the summer going to this couple of businesses that were right of the street that we would always hang out on. One of them was a candy store. The other one was like a market, but they sold like snacks, and we used to love like folded pizzas and little cheesy chips and things like that and drinks. We would patronize both of these businesses, and both of them were family-owned, what we would call mom-pop businesses, right? These were businesses that had an imprint, an impact in the community at that time. All of my aunts and uncles knew them and grew up with some of the owners. They knew them, they had patronized them as they grew up. Then here we come, we're now patronizing them growing up. It became a fabric or a thread within the fabric of our community, right? At the time. Well, obviously, as technology went on and things built, this mom-pop type of business became kind of obsolete, right? Because people were focused on big businesses and now e-commerce and all the things, right? Where I'm here to tell you, and you can take this to the bank, that this mom-pop style of doing business is gonna become in demand again. And honestly, it's already happening. But what do I mean? And this is something that I know I'll have to talk about in the future because we'll need to dedicate a whole episode to this. But this whole style of mom-pop businesses are gonna take over again. In the industries, the people that feels, the individuals, the providers that understand this right now out the gate will be on the cutting edge when it comes to being able to serve their customers at a greater level. Not because their products are better, not because they have better service per se, but because they understand who they're serving and the community that they're impacting. Very important, very important. And this all hinges upon relationship-based service. And honestly, this is now where you can create systems. You can literally, and I know of companies because I've been on the receiving end where they've built relationship with me by being consistent in reaching out in whatever medium that they tend to use. Some of it is email, some of it is phone calls. I remember I got a phone call after getting service on a car. The mechanic called just to follow up a few days later. Just want to check you, want to make sure everything is good and running good. How are things going? This is relationship-based service. How's things? It's a quick text sometimes. Sometimes it's not always a phone call. Sometimes it's a quick email. Whatever the case may be, whatever the medium may be, relationship is going to be important to doing business on a rock star level. Mark my words, Dolores. That's a quote from Sister Act 2. Mark my words, Dolores. Relationship-based service is going to be the thing that's going to take businesses from obscurity into celebrity status. Mark my words. The last framework in our 4 frameworks is self-service, empowering customers to find solutions independently. We see this on the websites where we have FAQs, frequently asked questions. This is self-service, right? This is them being able to go and research for themselves. This is them being able to go on your website and type in a question and an AI bot now responds immediately to their issue. So now they don't have to get on the phone and wait on hold, or they don't have to send an email and wait 5 to 7 days, right? All of the things, finding ways to put systems in place that now customers can serve themselves. Because guess what? There was research done within our 2024 State of Service Trend Report. It says that 78% of customers prefer to solve their issues independently. So you creating a self-service type operation where they can now, when they have issues, they can serve themselves and find solutions through the systems and databases or whatever that you've created. You're now serving that customer on a greater level. This is what they said about this. And it's so interesting to me. It said that DIY customers, and this is the do-it-yourselfers, right? These are the people that don't want to sit on hold. They don't want to call you. They don't want to deal with your customer agents. The DIY customers don't appear to be interested in waiting for responses, explaining their difficulties to agents, or nurturing a personal relationship with a service rep. Very interesting, right? Instead, these customers turn to online resources such as information centers to address their problem quickly and independently. So you have a whole customer base. They're saying that 78% who is more interested in just going to a website, clicking a database, or finding a solution online on their own than bothering you and your customer representatives. So interesting, right? So you being able to self-serve them on another level is going to be very important. And it's going to go back to that proactive state, right? It's going to go back to that proactive service, because in order to serve them well in this space, you have to kind of know what's going on and the issues that they're having or the potential issues that they'll have, right? Because if you don't, you won't be able to position anything or set anything in place that might become an issue for them. So you're going to have to be engaged and interested in the feedback of the customer base that you have. Now, if you're new to business and you don't have a customer base, you have not been able to try your services or goods on anybody, then what you do is you look at those who are already in business that are offering a service, product, good that is similar to yours. What issues are they having? What issues are those customers having with the brands that they do business with? More importantly, what issues have you had with the brands that you've done business where you've bought a similar service, product, or good within that same space or industry that you're looking to serve, right? All of these things can help you to position yourself better. So you don't have to wait to serve customers. You don't have to say, oh, I don't have any customers yet. You don't have to. You can use the research that you find from existing businesses, from customers that buy similar products or services or goods, and what you've experienced on yourself in order to create a system where you can self-serve them and be proactive in solving the issues of the customer base that you're looking to build. And guess what? As you serve that customer base and you start to gain a clientele or customer list, now you can tweak the things that are specific to the customers or clients that you serve. As I begin to bring this video to a close, I want to let you know that taking your business from rookie to rockstar status, it's not a matter of being celebrated in the masses, right? It's not a matter of being a household name. It's not a matter of being around 30, 40 years. It's a matter of you serving people and serving them well within the space industry or field that you are embarking upon. And in order to do that, this framework is going to be pivotal to your success. These 4 frameworks to help you better serve your customers are: number 1, reactive or responsive service, addressing customers' issues as they arise. 2, proactive service, anticipating and preventing potential problems. C, relationship-based service, building long-term customer relationships. And finally, self-service, empowering that DIY, that do-it-yourself customer base in an effort to help them find solutions to their problems independently. Listen, I hope these 4 frameworks help you take your business from rookie to rockstar status. If this content has helped you in any way, please hit the like button and don't forget to share it with a friend or somebody you think needs to hear this. And by all means, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss a beat moving forward. Listen, I'll be back here with you, same place, same time next week. Until then, take care.